Did you know your brain is like a clay, capable of being reshaped to boost your creativity and productivity? But if you don't know what you're doing, you could end up ruining that clay, leading to wasted potential and a lifetime of frustration. Today, I'm going to share with you how I transformed my artistic journey by tapping into the power of neuroplasticity in the right way. So, who am I and why should you listen to me? I'm going by the name of Tiagmino, and I've been passionate about creating art since I was a kid. Like probably you did, I struggled with consistency and often admired others' work instead of making my own, until I discovered the secrets from the people on the top. And now my purpose is to help you learn them so much faster than I did. So let's waste no more time. I loved creating art since I was a kid, and I wanted that to be my life. I would create from time to time, but it was never serious. When I wanted to create, I did, but it would happen very rarely. I had a few artworks that I was proud of, maybe like 10, and they weren't great. I mean, what could you expect from a child? As I got older, I obsessed over others making cool stuff. Then, at one point, I thought, that's enough. At the beginning of 2024, I set a New Year's resolution to be consistent in creating art and produce as much as possible. But I was clueless. I only knew how to draw, but that wasn't enough. At the start of the year, I created 2 or 3 pieces out of pure motivation. But once the motivation was gone, my work stopped expanding as well. And that's when I realized I needed to learn how to sustain my creativity. I struggled with the right information. Most advice was either too vague, simply telling you to work harder, or too soft, leaving me with the knowledge that resulted in even less productivity than before. I almost gave up, feeling like there is nothing I can do. Then randomly, a video about cold showers popped in my feed. I liked what the guy had to say and subscribed immediately. And I went on to check his channel, and who would have known? He had exactly what I was looking for. The YouTuber Andrew Huberman from the Huberman Lab podcast discussed how to learn faster and produce more. He introduced me to the neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to adapt and improve, much like a clay being reshaped. So basically, neuroplasticity means your brain is always capable of adapting and improving, much like a clay is continuously reshaped to get better and more detailed. But you must first do something to it in a right way for the clay to change shape in a shape that you desire. Or in other words, you need to learn how to learn faster and how to work harder if you want neuroplasticity to work in your favor. From that one video, I learned many things, which I'll discuss in a moment, but my brain couldn't comprehend all the information at once, so I rewatched the whole video, made a list of what I wanted to implement, and decided to work on them one by one. I looked at the list, and the first one that I did was the one that looked the most promising to me. This one was also the bedrock for everything else. It was having the 90 minutes work block. So basically, the 90-minute work block is a way to organize your time to get most out of your focus and energy. Imagine that your brain has a natural cycle where it can focus really well, followed by the periods where it needs a break to take in the things that it just learned. These cycles, called ultradian rhythms, typically last around 90 minutes. Here's how it works. You spend 90 minutes working intensely on a task without distractions. This could be studying, practicing a new technique, or any other focused activity. During this time, you're using your brain's peak ability to concentrate and learn. After the 90 minutes, you take a break to rest your brain. This could be a 10 to 15 minutes walk, a short exercise, or just relaxing. The break helps your brain recover and get ready for the next round of focused work. And so you wondered, why 90 minutes? It turns out that your brain has natural cycles of high and low alertness that lasts about 90 minutes. By aligning your work with these cycles, you can maximize your deep work as well as your learning. And so I tried it. I sat down, and for the first 8 minutes, nothing happened. Then my hand randomly moved. It created a first line. Oh, this is interesting. What if I make this line? And to that line, what if I make this interesting line? And I think that looks amazing. And after that, what if? But no, I don't like that. Remove that. But not this part. That's what I like about it. And line by line, I struggled. But with each next line I created, I liked it more and more and more, until I got kind of exhausted. Then I looked at the clock. It said that I have been working for 96 minutes. I was amazed. but tired. So I finished what I was doing and went on with my life. Later in the day, I randomly passed by the table where I had left my artwork. I stopped for a moment, looked at it for a few minutes, admiring it, and thought about how that device actually helped me. I was amazed. The next day, I decided to try the 7 to 30 minutes error practice. So basically, this technique is made of short, concentrated practice intervals lasting between 7 to 30 minutes. During these sessions, you focus on challenging yourself and deliberately making errors. Emphasis on deliberately making it. Correcting these errors helps your brain learn and adapt more efficiently. You can integrate these 7 to 30 minute sessions into your longer 90-minute work block. For example, within 90-minute work block, you might do 2 or 3 short error focus practice intervals and brief rests in between. This way, you get the benefit of both intense practice and sustained deep work. I wanted to improve at anatomy, so I used the Procus drawing timer, doing 5 models for 5 minutes each, totaling 25 minutes. I focused on making as many mistakes as possible, then finding ways to fix them. After 25 minutes, my drawings weren't great, but I felt good because there were fewer mistakes on my 5th model than there was on my 1st. I was happy about the mistakes because I knew correcting them meant I was learning. Then I took 20 minutes break and did another 25-minute session. I realized I kind of had completed a 90-minute work block without even noticing. I saw improvements in my drawing and could tell what I actually had learned that day. But I was so exhausted that I couldn't draw for a week after that. I was overwhelmed by the possibilities I had just discovered. After a week, I was inspired to work on something new. The cycle of motivation and loss of it continued for a few months until I got used to it. When I finally did, the quality of my work improved significantly. Over time, this became my standard, and it was time to enhance it. I got good at working hard, but now I wanted to triple my output without compromising the quality. This was the hardest part, but it promised the greatest payoff. I had to take my knowledge and the quality of my work and learn how to maximize its quantity. This required improving the rest between work blocks to optimize my brain for continuous work. I tried this, and so I finished the first work block and did well initially, but I was usually too tired after the break after that. But who cares? I tried to work on the second block. I thought it would be easy because I had already developed a habit of that one work block, but the second felt impossible. I couldn't do it. Discouraged, I took a few days off. A few days later, I finally thought it was the time to try again. I thought this time I might actually succeed because I had already experienced the failure on the quantity side. So now I knew at least what to avoid. I tried it. It was so hard. I almost failed, but it wasn't as unknown as it was the first try. I finished the second block and felt so motivated because I actually accomplished it, and then challenged myself to do the third round. And guess what happened? Guess what happened? I got through it. So that ended up being the first day in my life where I did 3 work blocks side by side, each separated by the nap. The biggest lesson I learned is that it takes so much time, so much more than I expected, and you need to be disciplined about it. You need to come to the work block or error block even when you don't feel like it. I mean, if you felt like it, you wouldn't need discipline. And so now, thanks to Andrew Huberman and his easy explanations, I'm able to work constantly and in the end have more artworks than I know what to do with. But anyways, check this out. Hey, thanks for watching, bro. If you found my journey inspiring or something, you won't want to miss the next video where I dive deeper into advanced techniques for sustaining creativity and maximizing productivity. Click here to watch now and take your creative skills to the next level.